This is Marcy Anderson with the Fishing Report for Southeast Kentucky. On Lake Cumberland, the lake is 2 feet under normal summer pool and the levels are continuing to drop. Water temperatures were running in the low 50s and water conditions in the mid and upper lake areas remain muddy. There is some debris on the lake, so use caution when running. Black bass are being caught on swim baits on secondary points. On Laurel River Lake, water temperatures are in the upper 40s and the water still has some color to it. Bass are starting to be up shallow on the banks and cover and also on main lake points. On Wood Creek Lake, water temperatures have been in the upper 40s and low 50s. The water is still somewhat muddy, but bass can be found on the bank and shallow cover. Walleye spawning is ongoing in area water bodies. In Lake Cumberland and Laurel River Lake, walleye are hanging tight on the riprap along the dam, and walleye can also be found in the upstream portions of Lake Cumberland. Trout and catfish have recently been stocked into district water bodies. Brown trout were stocked in Cannon Creek Lake, and the Daniel Boone National Forest streams were recently stocked with rainbow trout. Finn's Lakes have also recently been stocked. Brickyard Ponds in Barberville were stocked with channel catfish, and Logan Hubble Park Lake near Stanford was stocked with trout. The new license year started March 1st, so make sure your license is up to date before hitting the water. So good luck and good fishing.
This is Tom with your fishing report from the Northeast. Warmer weather has a few things perking up, but high and muddy water is putting a bit of a damper on things. Out on Grayson Lake, water levels are near winter pool and outflows are slowing down, but the lake is still muddy with debris all over the place. Grayson bass have been slowly improving, but are still tough. Try main lake points with rattle traps, and due to that muddy water, brighter colors are your best bet right now. Out on Cave Run, the lake is still above summer pool levels and the Corps is pulling the lake hard trying to get it down while they can. This could put several wrenches into your plans. Boat ramps are closed around the lake right now because they are underwater and the hard pull on the lake drives the fish a little bit deeper. Right now would normally be the time we'd be thinking about muskie moving up and into the coves, and this is likely still the case, but you'll need to be thinking a little bit deeper and more in the staging phase right now. Water is still a little bit cool for the big mamas to be up, but if you fish those banks warmed by the morning sun, the banks with the most sun exposure, and the banks with a sandy base, you'll start seeing them show up soon enough. Trout were stocked last week into Swift Camp Creek, Middle Fork Red River, and East Fork of Indian Creek. Regulations were recently changed on Middle Fork Red to allow for year-round harvest of stocked fish, but the other two streams are still under that delayed harvest regulation. Water is still running high in several streams around the area, and flooding has pulled a lot of debris out into the lake, so be extra cautious out there and be sure to wear your life jacket. That should do it for us. As always, good luck and stay safe.
This is Jeremy Shiflett with the fishing update for the Northwest District. Rough River Lake is about 6 inches above summer pool, pending the rain this week. Crappie fishing is picking up. Fish are staging either slightly offshore or in some cases right on the bank in about 12 inches of water. Numbers and overall size of fish may be down some this spring. We had 3 bang-up years in a row with high harvest and good-sized fish, so don't be surprised if this year does not quite stack up to the last few springs. Hair jigs tipped with mealworms and tube jigs in white, chartreuse, and other colors are solid choices. Bass fishing is slow and the water is muddy. Use chatterbaits, large soft plastics in dark colors, or shad wraps in shad, silver, or crawdad patterns. Hit midway up the feeder creeks, near docks, gravel points, and main lake pockets. The hybrid striped bass will be moving upstream in the next few weeks. As the water temp reaches the low 60s, target the river upstream of Peter Cave and especially the Evilly to Atkins camp area. Use small crankbaits, swim baits, jerk baits, grubs, and even night crawlers or chicken liver. Nolan River Lake is 4 feet below summer pool and dropping. Water is in the mid-50s and muddy. The walleye are running in the upper river. There is a ramp at Bacon Creek for small john boat access and bank fishing access at Bacon Creek Ramp, Broadford Bridge, Wheeler's Mill Bridge, and Kessel Ring Road. Use small crankbaits, grubs, and inline spinners. The white bass will be following the walleye in the next few weeks. The prime area this spring is again Bacon Creek Ramp and upstream. Water level will dictate just how far these fish move upstream. Target areas below riffles with small crankbaits, jerk baits, curly-tail grubs, and swim baits on a 1/8 ounce jig head, along with 1/8 ounce inline spinners in white and chartreuse. Crappie seem to be staging offshore in the channels of the feeder creeks around 15 feet deep. Look for them to be moving shallower as spawning conditions get right. Bass fishing has been decent. Similar to rough, use 1/2 ounce chatterbaits with trailers, 1/2 ounce jigs with creature baits, and blue-black or other dark colors in the feeder creeks and near cover. A lot of our smaller lakes have high water, are muddy, and are in the low to mid 50s. Bass fishing is still slow, with some fish being caught on jigs and spinnerbaits. The crappie are picking up and staging prior to the spawn. Jigs and minnows 2 to 10 feet deep under a float are a good option. Trout and catfish have been recently stocked in area Finn's Lakes. Trout also went into Otter Creek on the outdoor rec area and on Fort Knox. To find the closest lake to you and the current stocking schedules, visit our website fw.ky.gov and search fins. And while you're there, make sure you purchase your new fishing license and download a copy of the 2021 fishing forecast. Things are starting to heat up. Good luck and be safe.